Here now, the author of the book on the most revolutionary and proven new advertising strategy ever conceived, Jess Dubois.
You did it. You put this little device in a laptop or DVD player, or you clicked on a link on YouTube to see if we might have a hidden treasure for you. Thank you. In the last few months, Tom Vermeeren has discovered that funeral directors are very special. They don't want to be bothered by anything connected to marketing or advertising. It doesn't work, it just costs money, it's frustrating. Did you know that the first record company Elvis went to turned him away? Didn't even listen to him? Think about that. That's what your average funeral home director would have done. Elvis was one of a kind. And so are we. No one has done what we have done. Tom, our president of marketing, went to the October Expo to see what was going on, to meet funeral home folks in person so that they could see he wasn't a pariah. He was a guy with an idea to share, and if they didn't want it, Tom didn't want it. This personal contact at the Expo was probably the catalyst that put me in front of you today. That we're here together via this video makes me believe that you are not typical, that you're probably already one of the more successful. And if there is a treasure to be found, you'll find it. But is there a treasure? In just a few minutes, you'll have a sense of whether there is or might be. The most important thing that I have to say in this video today is the reason Du Bois has decided to cross this great country, talking to you and your counterparts across the nation, partnering with multiple location funeral homes, the same as we have done with a very competitive auto industry for 40 years. Current example. Towsley, Minnesota's #1 Volume 4 dealer with a mega selection, over 700 new vehicles available. Buy a new 2011 Ford Ranger for as low as $14,995. Now, we're following this path because of our proven test funeral home case in mid-sized market, Richmond, Virginia, Bennett Funeral Homes. What I have for you today is not theory and interesting ideas, but facts, proof of results. Not just a one-shot idea, but a full-blown long-term strategy that works month after month, year after year, a permanent strategy to win funerals from the other funeral homes in your same geographic area. That increases your bottom line and stabilizes your future. Now hang in with me till the end, and I'll give you a quote from the president of Bennett. I'd tell you now, but I think you wouldn't believe it. But once you see and hear a few concepts in the next few minutes, I think you might. A few questions. Are you happy? Happy with your revenue and current amount of funerals? Is business good for you? Is it as good as it can be, or you'd like it to be? A good captain checks the sea that he'll be in before he sails. Same for a good businessman. Our sea is the economy. Check this chart. This character is symbolic of the people looking over our economy right now for us. I'm going to flash my laser pointer over here on the chart. The black lines show average personal income. Now, the red ones are national debt. Notice how they stayed pretty even there for all those years? Not anymore. This is where the current folks in charge of our economy took over. For the first time in decades, income flatlined. See it there? And here it goes down just recently. But look at the debt. More and more and more. And we don't know when or if that will change. Are you confident that this trillion-dollar debt will not hurt our economy, making it smart for you to grow your business more now, increase your share over the competitors as a cushion to tough times if they come? If your answer is no problem, then my next statement won't be of much interest to you. And that statement is, we have created the first and only marketing strategy that has proven to take funerals from the competition, which is the only way that you can grow your business. You have no control over how many deaths occur, but you can control how many of them you contract. Before I go further, I have another question. Do you consider yourself a leader with an open mind? If I say something that is completely different from what you believe now, will you shut me off? Or listen further to hear me out and then decide? I believe that common sense tells you that if you keep doing the same thing that you're doing now, the results will be the same. One more question, and then I'll show you two simple basics of our new funeral home strategy. Are you a marketing expert? Do you know or work with a marketing expert who has ever proven to actually increase any organization's business? Well, we are marketing experts. Over 40 years with only one mission: take customers from our clients' competitors. Sure, you know something about marketing. You've had to be involved, but your knowledge is in funeral home operations and all of its complexities, or other things like how to keep a wife happy. Now, if you have that one down, get in touch with me later, okay? Now, for us, it's the opposite. We know a little about funeral home operations. In the last 2 years, we've learned a lot more, but we do know about marketing. So, in your marketing, should you do what you think is best, or someone else that you're working with who has no real proven record of success? Or should you do what we think is best? Think about it. I continue with the two main components of our strategy: the right media and the right message. It's as simple as that. First, the media. Our strategy uses only one medium, the only medium that can reach virtually every adult in your geographic area of operation. That area encompasses about a 10-mile radius of each of your locations. This is a look at Bennett's circumstances. Bennett is now winning new families from 26 area funeral homes. Here you see their 4 locations. These red dots represent all the other funeral homes. It's a fertile field. This is a typical market in the USA. Does this mirror your market any? I bet it's close. We did it. I'll change that. We are doing it today, winning families from the other funeral homes. Now, if we're doing it for them, we can do it for you. So what medium is it? That one's easy. The only medium that can reach all of your potential families is broadcast TV. Let me prove that to you with this chart. Now, why TV only? Because we want your message to reach everyone. Few advertisers have enough budget to spread it around. Besides, not everyone reads the paper. Just look here. In the average city in America, only 11% ever even see a paper. That means no matter how many ads you run or how big they are, 89 of every 100 adults will never see it. Not everyone listens to the radio. The total possible reach is 24%. So 76 out of 100 never hear your ad, no matter how much you spend. Not everyone watches cable. The average cable possible reach is 55%, and only then if you buy every single channel with hundreds of spots. Impossible. Even if you could, that means 45% still never see your ad because they don't get cable. But everyone does watch broadcast TV. Okay, not everyone. 95% or virtually everyone. 5% are in solitary confinement or in a coma or hermits or something, I guess. So, if you never spend another nickel on the paper, radio, or cable, you won't miss reaching anyone. You see what I mean? The only one that gets everyone is broadcast TV. Now, to back this up further, DuBois is the top auto dealer agency in the USA. We're the only ones who use 100% broadcast TV in every market. Now, that is what took our Ford dealer to number 1 in the USA. And we always take business from our clients' competition. The others think broadcast TV is too expensive, that they can't afford it. But the truth is, it's by far the cheapest because it actually works. When you use it right with the right message, you do more business. Revenue comes in to pay for the ads, plus much more. You can't afford not to use broadcast TV. Now let's move to the second component, the message. We proved with the auto category that we had the right medium. So then for funeral homes, all we had to do was come up with a message. Nothing like car dealers. That would be totally different than the typical funeral home message, and would have the components that we knew would be needed. We know that you can't sell death. Talking about beautiful chapels and personal service and family tradition and so on means little to grieving people. And besides, that's what all the funeral homes say. So who do they believe? We knew we had to find a message that stood out. It was completely different, that added class to your operation, but more important, that connected emotionally and spiritually, where people would want to choose you to serve them. And did we ever? We're going to show you one of our typical auto commercials, followed by our proven funeral home creative, the copyrighted TV memorial. Now, you've probably already seen it, or you wouldn't be watching now, but another look and comparison won't hurt. We think the moment you see it, you'll understand why it's so effective. Here at Paul Moak Subaru, we know that almost every car buyer gets in a groove as to the car they prefer. Well, may we suggest it might be time to consider changing your groove to Subaru. Why has Subaru broken sales records month after month with the most loyal customer base in America? Log on to www.subaru.com. Check out every model. Read what the top experts say. And remember, every Paul Moak Subaru is comp check priced. So think about a new groove at Paul Moak Honda on High Street in Jackson. In memory of Richard and Bernice Wright. They loved travel and their family and church friends. Earl W. Joyner, Jr., a hardworking man who knew he would reside with Christ. Barbara Jeanette Gunn Joyner, a wonderful singer and devout Christian. If Bennett served your family member any time in the past, we'd like to include them in our complimentary TV memorials. Send us their photo. Log on to BennettFuneralHomes.com. Click on the TV icon for more information. I'm guessing that you have never seen or heard about any marketing or advertising strategy that works for funeral homes. It causes families to switch their loyalty from one funeral home to another. Our months of research shows that no one has ever come up with a marketing plan that works for funeral homes. And we're going back 100 years. Funeral homes just keep spending money doing a little of this or a little of that, discontinue for a while, then they come back because they feel they must. But it's always the same. Increase in funeral income? No. Increase in expenses? Yes. Advertising is not supposed to be an expense. Pulling your profits down in a whirlpool. Tom, does this look like a whirlpool of money there?
Yes, sort of.
Thank you. For every $3 invested, it's supposed to represent $100 in gross revenue. For every $1,000 you invest, it should represent about $30,000. You're not in business to keep the media going. They're in business to keep you going. Du Bois wants to consider partnering with you in your market. Why? Because we're taking this new funeral home strategy across the country. Because we've already inquired about you and know that, number one, you're an independent operation. Number two, you have multiple locations. Only operations with multiple locations can generate the dollars needed. Number three, the corporate operations can't compete with your strategy. They're at your mercy. And number four, the smaller independent funeral homes just can't compete. This means that you can become the dominant funeral home in your geographic region, if you're not already. Now, if you are already, start steadily growing in revenue and events, separating further from the pack. Okay, so far all of this sounds too good to be true, right? And why should you trust me? Why should you believe anything I have to say? You don't know me. We just want some of your money, right? Yes, we do. But we can't make money, nor do we deserve to, unless we help you make money. And what we make is pocket change compared to how much we can help increase your revenue. Other than the 15% commission that the media pays us, we have no fees. You pay us nothing. That's the way it's supposed to work. Advertising, frankly, doesn't pay very well. But It's what we've been doing for over 40 years. And funeral homes don't make much either until they reach their nut. But then their potential profits become exponential. Ours never do. But I shouldn't complain about that. It's not your fault. So we're together today because we have a possible interest in partnering with you in this new strategy. So why do I use the word possible interest? Because after we finish up here, and you want to go to the next step in determining if you want to do this, you have to want to do this as much as we. If after you see the complete strategy, which we will present to you on another day, if you want us to, you'll have to believe in it, and you'll have to trust it, and trust the proven test case. Now, I think you'll like this. We don't have a contract. We don't want a contract. You don't want a contract. Ours would be a verbal gentleman's agreement. You could shut her down anytime. Okay, so you've heard a lot here today, but I'm just a guy you don't know, talking to you on a video. How can you be sure I know what I'm talking about? And why should you? Very quickly, I'll make the case. We go back in time to 1979. This is a few seconds of me doing the first Toyotathon ever done in history. I invented the Toyotathon, and I wrote, produced, and placed the time on TV in every city in America. We then went on to develop, as I mentioned earlier, with the help of my son Doug, who grew up in the business, the top auto dealer ad agency in America. Google Du Bois Advertising. See what comes up. Then just 2 years ago, we decided to expand into a completely different business category, one that research showed us had never had a successful marketing strategy. Auto dealer competition is fierce. Getting consumer to change his idea of where to go buy his brand of car is the toughest ad job there is. Funeral home competition would be non-existent because they're all doing the same ineffective things. So we partnered with a multi-location funeral home in Richmond, Virginia, 4-location Bennett Funeral Homes. Another reason we chose funeral homes is because the same exact media principles that work so perfectly for auto dealers work for funeral homes. As I come to the close, I want to tell you that the TV Memorial ID caused something that any advertiser would dream would happen. Within a few weeks of being on the air with our first TV memorial, a buzz started across the landscape of our 990,000 adult population. You could walk by friends sitting on a park bench or in a restaurant or at a doctor's office, and you would hear them talking, saying things like, "Have you seen that funeral home commercial on TV? What do you think?" Stuff like that. The same thing would happen here in your market for you, and that would be the most powerful kickoff strategy that you could ever hope for. The next step, if you want to take it, is contact us. If you don't, we'll call you for a yes, we want to know more, oh no, we're going to pass. If it's a go, we'll do a go-to meeting online to show you the PowerPoint that we presented to Bennett that led to his momentous decision. Now, in the go-to meeting, you and any of your key people would be at your computer. We would be in our office at our computer. We both log on to the go-to website and set the time and get on the phone, and so we're talking on the phone to one another. On your screen, you'll be looking at the same PowerPoint as we. We'll change the slides, make comments, be open for questions, and so on. In this fascinating few minutes, we will show you all the aspects of the Bennett strategy. Now, after we do the go-to meeting, you will decide if you want to go to the final step. Now, if you're still not absolutely sure that you want to go to that final step, call the president of Bennett Funeral Homes, our proven test case. We'll leave his contact info on the screen at the end of this video in a few seconds. Ask him this question. Mr. Moorhead, after 90 days of the TV memorial strategy, did you start taking funerals from the competition every month thereafter? His answer will be a simple yes. When you are ready for the final step, you will have seen the Bennett PowerPoint and the amount of research needed. We will prepare a PowerPoint for you We'll research your specific situation in your market. Now, we'll need a little data from you, but mostly we'll design a precise media plan and present the full strategy, every detail of how it can work for you. And we can do that on a day and time that suits you and that we're also not booked. Now, we can do another go-to meeting, or possibly in person if you prefer, and we're able. All of our preparation and research costs you nothing. It's an expense that we're willing to absorb for the chance that you'll want to partner with us and be one of the multi-location funeral homes in the country that becomes part of marketing history. If that happens and it works, then we will profit alongside of you. Tom and I sincerely thank you for hearing me out to the end of this video. We've spent some valuable time with you today, and I hope we spend some more. It's in your hands.